Hello, readers, and welcome to the inaugural Phoenix Magazine podcast, videocast, webcast. I'm not sure what to call it. I mean, we're just making history here, magazine history on video. And as you can see, we've spared no expense with the production design. I mean, it probably is not the best time to start a podcast or launch a podcast in the middle of a pandemic, but there is some method to that madness, no matter how bad it is or how mediocre the production values. We've got an excuse. So we have a special issue we're talking about this month. It's our May issue. We're writing it and editing it and producing it right when the pandemic struck. So we kind of pivoted to a different cover story, one that's more quarantine friendly. It's hiking based. We also have the usual elements inside the magazine, including our columnists, including Amy Silverman, Valley journalist and award-winning Phoenix Magazine columnist. She'll be coming by shortly to talk about what she did for this issue. And we have an entire team, the entire Phoenix Magazine team, to talk about their favorite to-go and curbside restaurants in the Valley, which, everybody's doing right now. So let's start it. So as we mentioned before, our original cover for the May issue was Las Vegas, which for obvious reasons was completely inappropriate ultimately. So what happened was we pivoted to a hiking cover. If we are going to our happy place at Phoenix Magazine, for instance, if there's a pandemic out and we want to escape it, however briefly, physically and mentally, we go hiking. And in turning to a hiking cover, there was only one person to write it. That was our resident hiking guru and production chief, Mayor Chinar. Hey, Mayor.
Hey, Craig. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Looks like you're in the office.
I am, with my little buddy here.
Companionship. Has he been on the trail many times?
He's kind of reactive around other dogs, so we kind of keep him in the 4 a.m. around the block scheme.
That trail.
He's bad boy.
Right on. So you gave us 7 main hikes for this issue, and a bunch of other smaller hikes. It's really a great feature. Thank you for writing it. You pick them, or your method for picking these particular hikes was kind of informed by the time of year as much as by the remoteness of them and social distancing, that kind of thing. Talk a little bit about hiking in May.
A little bit of an odd month for hikers here because in normal times, it's just starting to get hot down here and people want to start getting away. And if you immediately start going to the very high elevations, such as, the White Mountains where it's 8,000-9,000 feet, that elevation change is going to get you. So I really recommend starting in the mid elevations, such as the Verde Valley, Sedona, Prescott, Payson area, and kind of, get your bearings there before you hit the big mountains.
Can it actually get a little too cold up in the White Mountains at 7,000, 8,000 feet this time of year?
Absolutely. I mean, there's still lingering snow up there right now. It's 100 degrees here, but
yeah.
I mean, if you get up around Big Lake, you're going to find snowbanks and muddy trails, which we recommend you stay off of because it's destructive to the trail and the drainage system. So
right.
Hang around the mid elevations while the weather is perfect.
And it's dry enough, it's cool enough for all those. It checks off all the boxes. Hiking in, I guess, late spring is what we're in. So
correct.
You did 7 great hikes, like you mentioned. A lot of them are focused not too far from the valley. These mid-elevation high desert areas are only usually 90 minutes to an hour away. You've got Verde Valley, Camp Verde, which is the closest one, I think, of the 7 you picked, around 50 minutes away.
Yeah.
Sedona, wonderful stuff. Snap judgment, what's your favorite of the hikes that you recommended, the 7? Which is your favorite? Which you recommend our readers go to if they had just like one shot?
Oh, I'd probably go to the Rael Canyon, followed up by the Copper Falls trails. They're right next to each other, and they are surprisingly stunning and curiously difficult. I was very surprised when I hit out on those. They're very, very scenic. Just every time you go around a bend, there's something new to see. And if you really want a physical challenge, go on the Rael Canyon Trail. The trailhead is still under construction as we speak. Brand new trail. Well, not brand new. It used to be used by off-highway vehicles quite a bit. and the community of Camp Verde really got together and decided to build out that trailhead to make it the access easier and legal. And man, is it beautiful. It's stunning. You can see forever all the way to Flagstaff and Sedona.
Oh, it
So
sounds
if I
awesome.
had to pick one, that would be it.
And that's the closest one. It's only 55 some minutes away from downtown.
Right, it's just a couple miles south of Camp Verde.
Wonderful. Normally I'd recommend people visit one of the nice wineries that have sprung up in the Verde Valley, Camp Verde particularly, but you have to call ahead about those, unfortunately.
Of course, we also have some hikes in the issue, Bubbling Ponds and the Page Spring Hatchery,
Wow.
which
Right.
are right on Page Spring Road, which there's a couple of wineries right on there. So
Yeah.
you can pretty much, hike and have a drink in normal times anyway.
Sounds like you've done that maybe once or twice.
Maybe I did.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us, Mayor. And, we'll be seeing more of your hiking material in the magazine. We should also plug your hike book, which we published just this last winter, The Hike Book. Where can people find that?
Oh, REI, Safeway, where you can find magazines, it's there. You can find it at Sky Harbor. They sell out pretty quickly, so you can also get them online at phoenixmagazine.com.
Right.
So they're all over the place.
Over 200 hikes in that one. So, if you want more, if you see this month's issue and it just whets your appetite to hike Mayor style, you can go and find that book.
Well, the beauty of the book and the beauty of the issue is that we're featuring hikes that are a little bit under the radar. So if you're into social distancing, which I hope you are, this is going to be a good resource for you to go and find places that aren't jammed with a million people. So yeah,
Right.
Good reason to pick it up.
I've had a little of that on Squaw Peak or Piestewa Peak, lately.
Yeah.
Cheek to jowl hiking, not necessarily pandemic friendly. So thank you, Mayor. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, as promised, I'm here with award-winning Phoenix Magazine columnist Amy Silverman. Actually, I think technically the awards you won were not with Phoenix Magazine. They were with the New Times, where you were managing editor for many years.
Yeah, I'm not. Have I won anything for Phoenix Magazine work?
You might actually. I should announce right now you're one of 5 finalists nationally for Best Magazine Columnist through the CRMA, which is the City Magazine Collective. So congratulations for that.
Exciting. Thank you.
For your good work. You've only been writing for us for a little over a year.
Yeah, I think just about a year in June, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Before I start, one question I need you to answer that I'm sure is burning on the tip of our readers' tongues. Are you wearing shoes right now?
I am wearing shoes.
That's cutting edge coronavirus humor. I can't imagine anyone else.
I am wearing shoes, but you cannot see my feet. That is not part of the deal.
I'm not going to ask, my friend.
Wasn't there in the last couple of days some news anchor or weatherman or something who was caught not wearing pants?
No pants.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try to one up them.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a bad way to go. We'll let them own that piece of territory. I could show people the unwashed martini glasses in my kitchen.
Nice. We believe they're there. How's that?
All right. So you wrote lo and behold, a coronavirus themed column for our May issue. I believe you wrote it right as this whole thing was dropping, like in mid-March. And basically the entire column takes place in a grocery store.
Yeah.
Which I think people can understand.
I was, as you well know, as my editor, I was working on a totally different column, and I'm not saying I never have writer's block, but man, I could not do it. And I remember I was sitting at Phoenix Public Market and it was super crowded. It feels like years ago, but it wasn't. It was in the middle of March, and I messaged you and I said, I just can't stop thinking about coronavirus. And you said, well, write about that. So I thought, okay, I'll do that. And I went to Safeway that night, and I was March 12th. So it was kind of the day it felt like everything had changed.
Yeah.
Kind of overnight.
That weekend, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's when we quarantined, was that weekend. And I think things were really bad in New York. I was supposed to leave March 13th for a week-long business trip to New York, and that got canceled. And it just felt like all the dominoes were falling. And so I grabbed my younger daughter and we ran to Safeway, where we ran into other friends who were also stocking up. But at that point, it still kind of felt like a game, like I remember, and I wrote about this, my dad's birthday was a couple days later, and my parents they're older than me because they had me. So we'll just leave it at that. But, we're trying to be careful about that kind of
That's
thing.
a scoop right there. Thank you for sharing.
Right, exactly. Even though they like all boomer parents are like out partying, at all times of the day. Not quite, but they definitely still go to Costco together, which, the rest of us have stopped doing. But so I'm standing in the birthday card aisle trying to find my dad cards and thinking, okay, now what am I going to do if this virus lives on greeting cards? Am I going to lick a birthday card to my father and kill him? But it felt so histrionic, which this might greatly surprise you, Craig. I tend to be in the first place.
It makes for better column writing, to be honest with you.
I'm always the big worrier, right? And so I thought, well, I'm just being silly,
Well, you make an interesting point in the column, and I kind of borrowed it from my editor's note, that your column was a time capsule. Like, you knew that the next month was impossible to forecast. Possible to forecast, not accurately. But you were talking about, like, this whole thing might seem silly in a month, or it might seem, it might be worse. I mean,
like maybe we were right. Like maybe we were truth telling. Like that's what it was going to be like. Like I don't go to Safeway now. I get groceries delivered. I am way more careful than I was a month and a half ago.
Try to think back to that month ago. Are things better, more favorable now, or less favorable than you hoped they would be, 4 weeks ago when you wrote this column?
I never could have. I wouldn't have predicted that we were going to end up, oh, here's Sophie, like my office mate. Say hi, Sophie. I'm doing an interview for Phoenix Magazine.
Ew.
Okay, so you got to let me do that, okay? Okay.
I'm glad your child barged in first and not mine.
Yeah.
Because it could happen to any of us.
It happens all the time. Sometimes it's my husband.
Yeah,
so that may still happen. So what were we just discussing? We're talking about what
yeah.
I didn't think. I mean, it never occurred to me that they were going to put people on the kind of lockdown that we're under, and more than that anybody was going to listen to it. I mean, do I think that people are social distancing the way we are in my house? No, I don't believe everybody is.
Right.
Perhaps my Facebook feed is, which may be good in the end, right? Because my friends will all live. But then I also worry that we're like making ourselves like little baby hamsters, like when we do finally emerge into the world, we're going to be so, boiled on hand sanitizer that like germs far weaker than coronavirus are going to kill us.
Oh, it could be weakening our immunity thing. I think that the mental part of it too was hard to predict. Just the kind of malaise that settles over people when they have to stay at home for a month and not, socialize the way they're used to, or produce and work the way they're used to.
Exactly.
So.
I talked to some people who hit a real wall like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Maybe had to seek some help. Like truly like crisis, like not funny stuff.
Sure.
Who now feel like they've hit their stride, or maybe the meds are working or what, but it's like people seem to have adopted to this new reality. Although I really felt like, I don't know about you, I felt like I hit a wall last week on week 6. I think it's a little different too with kids in the house, kids who are supposed to be in school.
Oh, totally.
You find that? Right.
I mean, it creates an intense dynamic that you maybe have never had before, or you're just getting to know them on a if you're not a stay-at-home parent, on a curve that you're not used to. It's true.
Right.
Maybe a topic for a future column?
I was going to talk to you about that actually, about whether or not that would be a good one, as I'm opening microwave rice as we speak. Yeah, I've multitask in a much different and totally, like fifth dimensional way. I think.
Right. Well, let's hash it out off camera later.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll keep some secrets for people.
Exactly. Well, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, Craig, my pleasure. Stay safe and healthy.
You too, Amy. You and yours. Take care.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, as promised, I'm here with the whole Phoenix Magazine team. Maybe we should do a roll call so you can actually know them by name. Managing Editor Lee Lemoine.
Hello.
There you go. Associate Editor Madison Rutherford.
Hi.
Or Maddie if you're nasty. Did you say that? I'm sorry. It was a Janet Jackson thing. Nothing more, nothing less. Art Director Morel Inglefield.
Hello.
And Associate Art Director Angelina Aragon.
Hi.
So, what information can we provide our readers that's useful at this point. Hopefully there won't be too much of this lockdown left, but at least a couple weeks it looks like. So maybe favorite to go curbside delivery restaurants. I mean, a lot of them are doing it, but they all kind of come up with different, nuances and tweaks to make it fun. Maybe Leah, how about starting with you? What do you think?
Sure. Well, my fella is from Texas, so we've been hitting the barbecue pretty hard. So we've been to Naked Q for takeout a few times, and this last time we got their family pack, and it was $40, and you got a rack of ribs, half of a chicken, pulled pork, brisket, 2 sides, and 4 corn muffins. And so that lasted us days.
How much was that?
$40.
It's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to drive up north and get me some Naked Barbecue. It's
Mm-hmm.
Naked Q now, right?
Yeah, Naked Q. They rebranded.
That's right. Yeah, you've been hitting the barbecue hard. I like how you said that.
Yeah. It's true.
It is an
Every other
addiction.
day he wants barbecue. I'm like, again? Okay.
Dang straight. Actually, I live just south of Little Miss Barbecue. I know they must be. I mean, all barbecue places are essentially takeout to begin with.
Right. I don't know. Did Little Miss reopen? I need to check on that one because
Did
I
they
know they
close?
had like a big going out thing, and then I thought they were closed. But if they're open, we're gonna go there next.
That's interesting. You'd think I haven't checked, but now that we've embarked on this dialogue, I'm totally checking.
Yes.
How about you? Well, Morel's next and geographically here, so at least on my screen. How about you, Morel? What have you been doing?
Sushi. Sushi has been my go-to treat for myself.
That's daring. To go sushi has never been a big part of the sushi experience.
I recommend it. If you've got a good place and you trust their sources,
Yes.
I recommend it highly. It's a nice little indulgence.
What place
I've
you
been
going
going
to?
to Sushi Broker in Arcadia. So good. I get this chef's selection of the sashimi and the 5-piece sushi.
Awesome.
Just to vary it up, give myself a little treat surprise, I guess.
Oh, because it's a chef's choice, so you don't know what you're getting?
Yeah, but it's
Nice.
always good. It's always good. So
Cool.
I don't even know what it is sometimes, but it's yummy.
Yeah, right. Can't call either. It's like, we need to take a picture of it and send it back to him. Like, what the hell is this? Is it, uni? Come on.
I need a sushi ID chart. I actually saw one of those in a restaurant once.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Or go online, right? You can always go online. I've actually gone to Hana Sushi myself,
Ooh.
Lori Hashimoto's place on 7th Avenue. And yeah, I mean, if you love sushi, you just got to take that leap.
It's been worth it. Sweet Republic's another one too. They have a lot of nice to-go orders. I've been getting pints of ice cream.
Do they have somebody out front with like a table you can go and just order the ice cream? They go in, bring it out?
Well, the counter, I've been going up to the counter actually,
Okay.
but they're very careful to put it on the counter. I'll walk in and grab it, and you prepay for it, so you don't have to exchange anything. They're not accepting cash, probably for the reason of cleanliness and sanitation.
Sure.
So, and then also New Wave Market is another one too. These places are all pretty close to me, so I can.
New Wave Market in Old Town. Great place.
Yeah.
One of our staff favorites. How about you, Maddie?
Well, my go-to delivery service is Postmates. So I've been ordering from my 2 favorite restaurants, Postino, which I get the bruschetta and the cheese board. And then from Windsor, where I get the kale Caesar with shrimp.
So you're an Upward Projects woman.
Yeah, yes, definitely.
That's Postino, Joyride, Windsor, and Federal Pizza.
Federal
I think
Pizza,
those 4. Yeah. And they have a great, we've gotten Windsor too at home. They have a great fried chicken thing, but they also have a really aggressive program to help out employees they furloughed via a portion of the sales that they do curbside. So.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a really big operation, a lot of employees. So I feel good about, patronizing them for sure.
Supporting them, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's good food.
It is good food.
Yeah.
What about you, Ange?
I just discovered this place yesterday. It's called Unos Tacos Barrias. So white. Unos Tacos. It's really good. And then it comes with you can buy the little juice and dip the tacos in there. And you can get like deep fried tacos or the shell, and then you can get like soft tacos. But yesterday I got deep fried tacos or hard tacos.
Nice. Where's that located?
On 75th north of Thomas.
Cool. Right on.
Yeah, it's like in a little plaza.
Very nice. Well, I already shared mine. It was Hana. They're great. And Windsor, like Maddie. So I have nothing new to add. What about happy hour? Leah, you've been on the happy hour beat. Any, fun happy hour programs you've heard about?
Yeah, I took advantage of Hula's because I was craving some tiki drinks. So we got big things of Mai Tais and painkillers, and that was a fun evening. It's nice to not have to worry about designating a driver. That's the fun part about happy hour at home.
Theoretically, yes.
Yes. And then what else? I know crew.
It's only if you can resist cracking open that undiluted warm cocktail in the car, right?
Yes, just putting a straw in it like a Capri Sun.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was tempted, but my boyfriend's pretty a stickler for the rules. So
that's great. So it is a thing where they mix it for you, or they give you the raw ingredients. You take it home, you mix it, you shake it, and
yeah, they already had it pre-mixed from Hula's, which was great. They were just in these cool containers that I've washed, and now I'm reusing them to store chicken stock. So that's another fun bonus, is the containers are reusable.
Right.
And then Hula's
Tiki
also
chicken
gave.
stock.
Pardon me.
Tiki scented chicken stock.
Yes, lovely notes of pineapple.
There you go.
Yes. And they also gave a little container of nutmeg and some lime, so that way you could garnish your drink and sprinkle some nutmeg. So it was very festive, and I felt like I was really, there. And I also splurged and bought their glasses. So now I have Hula's modern tiki glasses in my home.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Those are good glasses too.
Definitely. So this was fun, right? Doing our first Phoenix Magazine podcast via Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully not a permanent thing, but who knows? We'll see how our next issue pans out in terms of where we are culturally by the time our June, July issue comes out. So, but thank you everyone for sharing.
Thank you.
And thanks to our readers for supporting us and for tuning in. So
yeah. Thank you, readers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bravo to you.
Appreciate
Hang
you.
in there.